YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This video is week 4 of Inktober and there is only 3 more days left of Inktober, which will be uploaded on Wednesday's video. So this video is from the 22nd to the 28th of October. And the next video will be the final 3 days of Inktober, so keep an eye out for that one. This week I have done mostly Tim Burton themed pictures, and the reason for that is I really enjoy his movies and his art, so I think that most of them are pretty spooky, and that's I was struggling with different prompts. So I originally organized all of them at the very beginning of October, and then I ended up changing some of them and not using others, and they weren't very inspiring, so I didn't do them. So that's why I changed them up a bit, and I felt really inspired by Tim Burton, so that's why I did these ones. So if you're a Tim Burton fan, you'll know that this is obviously the Corpse Bride, and this is day 22 of Inktober. The next one is day 23, and I can't remember his name. I think it's Victor, who is the corpse groom. And it's obviously off the Corpse Bride, which is a Tim Burton movie, and I absolutely love that movie. I was really happy with the way that this picture turned out. I ended up doing the background on day 23 to sort of combine both pieces, so I think that worked out really nicely. I was looking through all of my pieces from day 1, and I've noticed that one thing that I've definitely improved on is my shading. If you look at the very first Jack Skellington I did, there was absolutely no shading, and then the pumpkin had no shading. And the third piece, which was a bat, did have some shading, but it wasn't really until maybe, I don't know, day maybe 15 that I actually started shading my pieces. And I feel like I've learnt a lot, and if you have heard any of my previous videos, I always complain that I don't know enough about shading or how to do it properly. So I feel like I've really accomplished a lot even in just that one sort of skill set, which is good. So day 24 is the trick-or-treaters out of A Nightmare Before Christmas. I wasn't overly happy with the way that this one turned out. I think it probably would have been better if I had have left it without a background. You'll see in a moment that I do like a spiderweb in the background. I guess that's all part of learning, and I guess not using an a pencil sketch before you ink. But I think overall it did turn out pretty cute. It just wasn't what I wanted it to be. The next piece, on the other hand, is better than I thought it was even going to turn out, and it's probably one of my most favorite Inktober pieces, and it's definitely taken me the longest amount of time. And that is my day 25 piece, which you're about to see. Day 25, I did sketch because I wanted it to be amazing, and if you can't tell already, it is Jack and Sally, and I did use a reference image, which I just found off Google, and I did sketch it out very roughly, as you can see in the background, just so I had the proportions correct. But once I had the proportions down, I did all of the detail with a Sharpie, and then once I finished the initial outline, I went in with ink colouring, and this turned out so much better than I was ever hoping for. Kind of makes the next day hard to do because you're worried that it won't turn out as good as the previous day, but I guess that's all part of doing one piece every single day, is trying to keep up with the last piece. But the shading on this piece I found really good, and I guess probably not as good as some of the other pieces I've done, but the style doesn't have a lot of shading in it, I guess, so there's something to consider when colouring it in, as I didn't want to overshade it to make it not look very Tim Burton-esque. and the colors I think turned out great because they are so vibrant. So the yellow really makes the white pop and the red pop, and then the red really makes the blue pop. And I know I have gone off camera a couple of different times here because it was such a larger piece compared to the rest. I kept zooming in so that you could see what I was doing, and then I would forget that I've zoomed in and I was like down the bottom of the page working on something that you couldn't see me do. So I apologize for that. Hopefully you don't miss out on too much. It was around this point that my camera ran out of battery and I didn't realize, so I did do a little bit of shading before I was able to change the battery out and continue. So sorry that you missed that, but it was actually the longest piece that I have done. So out of everything, you've definitely seen the most of this artwork rather than everything else I've done so far. I'm planning on doing an entire sketchbook flip through at the end of Inktober, so keep an eye out for that one because I'm really interested to know what you think about the whole thing if I haven't watched all of the videos so far. So let me know. I did a thick black outline around everything, which I think made it pop really nicely. And then once I'd finished the black outline, I then went through with a white outline to make it pop even further. The footage cropped it a little bit at the end there, so here is the final piece. I was so happy with it. Please let me know what you think. I think it's fantastic. So then for day 26, I was struggling a little bit on what to draw, but I thought, hey, I'm going to draw scraps. I know that I did him in an ink drawing last week, I believe, while I was at the airport, but I didn't actually do him with, I did him with fine liners in my sketchbook. It wasn't in this book and it wasn't with my ink the way that I'm doing the rest of the pieces, so I thought, why not, let's do scraps. And I think he turned out really, really cute. I definitely didn't leave myself enough room to do his name, but that's okay. I think he still turned out really, really well, and it was really simple. It was a little bit rushed as I didn't have a lot of time for this piece, but I think it's still turned out really cute. And then for day 27, I did Coraline. And if you haven't seen Coraline, it is a very creepy movie. I've only watched it the once, and it was that long ago that I can't really remember it. I should watch it again, but I just remember it being quite very different and interesting. I can't actually remember the storyline, but I do remember enjoying it, so maybe I should watch it again. But if you haven't seen it, definitely go and check it out because it was very creepy, and this character was definitely pretty cool, so I thought, why not, let's draw her. In the movie, she doesn't have button eyes, but different characters do, so I thought it was like a lot creepier to add her with button eyes. And you can see now I'm actually adding in a skin tone. I created that skin tone with ink, so I added yellow, red, and white, and it turned out so cool. I was so proud of myself being able to create that color with the inks that I had, so never doubt the skills of mixing different colors. So this next piece is Carnage, and it is off, I believe it's The Amazing Spider-Man. Carnage is the bad guy in the movie, and I haven't actually seen it, but I always love seeing all of the different fan art for Carnage, so I did use a reference image for this, but I actually had a lot of fun doing it, and I think it turned out amazing. So in the next piece, I'll probably end up doing maybe like Spider-Man or the other version of Carnage. I'm not too sure, but the image I was looking at was really cool, so I'll probably end up doing that, so stay tuned for that one. We're nearly at the end of the video, so thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed my video, and I will see you in the next one for the last Inktober video. I'd love to hear what you have thought so far, so please let me know in the comments below, and if you have any suggestions for the next 3 days, I'd love to hear them as well. See you next time. Bye!